Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to give my thoughts, my first 2 to 3 hours impression of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. So yeah, if you heard me, Wii U, 2 to 3 hours, because the game is long. This is actually long. My gosh, it's all I can say is it's way different than the previous Zelda 3D Zelda game. However, it still have that element, and I'll probably give my review, well, not review, my score for this 2 to 3 hours impression. Not yet the full game because oh my god, this game is long. I'm still working on it, and it's the reason why the lack of showcase and vlog. Because the minute I got this game, boom, that's what it is. I've been playing it. Oh my god! And of course, I got work, so good idea there. But that's a different story there. So the first thing I want to basically my thoughts of the game. Well, the Breath of the Wild, the Legend of Zelda for the Wii U is, if you have a Wii U, is the very last Wii U game from Nintendo. A published game from Nintendo. That's it. The minute this game came out on March 3rd, done. So there's no more Wii U. Nintendo's done with Wii U. You can understand that. Didn't really help them. They weren't losing money, the direction, the market, whatever. But that's going to be a different story. So maybe I'll talk about that in the future. But yeah, so again, if you have a Wii U, this is probably your final game that you're ever going to buy a Nintendo published game. And if you buy a third party game, then that's a different story. So again, am I sad at the Wii U ending? A bit, but it's written in the wall. The direction was just way left field. Again, different V-block there. So with that, is there a difference between the Switch version? And my personal opinion is, no, there is no difference. The only difference is you can't play it on the go. You're stationed to the console. Again, if you're a person that you want to play it on the plane, in the car, or while you're doing Lyft or Uber, or you're stuck in some appointment or whatever, then maybe the Switch is for you. However, you got to keep in mind, and I have friends who told me about this, when you dock it, the frame rate gets even worse than just in handheld mode. The reverse one is the Wii U version is dedicated console, so there is some frame rate problem, but not as much. So it depends on your situation, preference, whatever. But my personal opinion, and even MmGS-X1 basically mentioned it in the Backlog Battle podcast, if you have a Wii U and your only sole reason you want to buy a Switch is to get the Breath of the Wild, Zelda, get it for the Wii U. Don't spend that $300 just because I gotta play it. Unless you really want to play it on the go and you want to play other games. But if it's just you're buying it because of Zelda and you have a Wii U, just buy it for the Wii U. There's no difference. There is no difference. And as of right now, the Switch doesn't even have achievements or trophies, so they're basically both the same. Just saying there. But if you really want it for the Switch, hey, by all means, I'm not stopping you. I'm just giving my personal opinion. So with that, what I think about the game. Well, first of all, there's been talk all the time, introduction. At E3 2016, they've been talking about this game. A lot of it from Nintendo, YouTube, Treehouse, you name it. This game is way different than any Zelda game. One, it's open world. It's a very open world. Two, you're going to have that Skyrim feeling. Because Bethesda game like Skyrim or even Fallout, they're non-linear. There are a bunch of missions that you can go, but there's no in order. The only tip to that one is, if you can't handle that particular mission because you're too weak, then you might want to get powered up first, then go back. That's how it goes. That's how Bethesda game is. Skyrim and Fallout. You might say, well, it's Legend of Zelda. What are you talking about? It's not Skyrim. No. It has that Skyrim feeling, but it still has that Zelda element onto it. But it is way different. One, you don't get treasure, a sub-weapon like in Dungeon in the past. There is no dungeon in the game. A bit of spoiler here. So, but I'm gonna try to keep it spoiler free to the best of my ability. But yes, I mean, I think they mentioned this. There are no dungeon. Maybe if the one of the storyline, I can't say what it is. You could probably treat it as a dungeon, but to some extent, there are no dungeon. What they introduced in this game are shrines. That's what they call it. I mean, you could probably say it's a dungeon, but it's mostly either two type: a puzzle base or a combat base. That's really the two type. I can't really say more about it, but it's worth doing it. They're actually fun. So, yeah. Second is it has that feeling from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which Snake, when you actually play the real mission, you're kind of called Naked Snake for a reason because you started with nothing, and whatever resource you find in the battlefield, it's yours. It's the same thing with this one. You are given a basic weapon, you're given basic clothes, and you get given basic sword and shield. And the downside is those weapons don't last. So if you use them too much, so the weapon, they call it weapon breakage. Yet, it's been done before from Nintendo game Fire Emblem in the past. I played the one from Fire Emblem Fate, but I played it on the super easy mode. I know, shame on me. Didn't really have that except for the healing one. So I don't know if it has a limitation or they got rid of it. But in Breath of the Wild, the more you use that weapon, the more chances will break. It depends on how powerful the weapon is. It will last long or not. And yes, you are bare, so you have to find whatever you can. To a point where you have to steal enemies' weapons. You gotta use bones, hands bone. No, I'm not kidding. Even in push come to shove, tree branches and torch. So whatever you can find. That's what Breath of the Wild is. And it's very, like I said, it's open world, non-linear. They give you a mission what to do, but you can't just say, oh, I'm going to do it because it's there. Because some of them are hard, but they'll just tell you what it is. The key thing about Breath of the Wild is exploration. This game has more exploration than versus Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, one of my all-time favorite Zelda games, 3D Zelda games. Since I finished it for the second time. And I'll talk about the amiibo later on for this one. So, again, already there, way different. It's not like, oh, go to this first dungeon and get something. The game starts out, and again, it's already been in E3, so sort of a minor spoiler, is you wake up in a cave, apparently 100 years. That story is 100 years later after a calamity happened in that timeline of Hyrule. Yes, you've been asleep for 100 years, so it's like cryo freeze a la, let's say, Aang. There you go. So 100 years pass, and then when you wake up, everything has less city. There are still towns, but not so much. And it's all just wildlife. And if you don't, unless you're a super The Legend of Zelda Uber fan, you kind of remind you of the very first Legend of Zelda. Yes, the very first one for the NES. Is the game itself has no town whatsoever because, believe it or not, the game takes place in a post-apocalyptic world of what Ganon did. That's why there's only forests, there's ravines, mountains, swamps, so no town. People are hiding in caves, and same thing with this one. And the story with this one is that, remember in the NES version, there was an old guy who gives you the wooden sword. The first thing you come out to the cave that you're resting, you see an old man, except he'll give you a wooden axe. But there is a sword you can find, but like a homage to The Legend of Zelda, well, the Link to the Past, pick up the sword from the stone. But then, of course, it's just an old sword. Spoiler. So, that's how the game's set up. So, the key word for this game is, it's not one of those things that you just go to point A to point B to do a quest. There are main mission and side mission, and you don't have to do them in order. Heck, if you really are brave or good, you can actually finish the game, go straight to the source of evil for the end boss, and beat the bad guy. And I've seen some people do it. That's not how the game is designed, but you can play whatever you want. So kind of interesting. They went with a different approach there. Again, the key word here is exploration and survival. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, in the beginning, you're gonna have a hard time. Just in any game, just like in Bloodborne, when you're starting weak, you'll have a hard time. You're doing whatever you have to just defend yourself. But as you go progress, you go to new towns, you explore, you'll be able to get better weapon, better armor, new skills, and it'll make the game a bit easier. So, yeah, it is a different way, and I kind of like it. The weapon breakage, I'm like okay with it because I can understand what it is. Because it's not like, oh my gosh, I have no weapon, I'm screwed. No, there is a lot of weapons hanging around. Just keep grabbing those weapons whatever you can. If they're weak, it just means that you're in a place that you shouldn't be there. But again, it's all about survival. So the key word for this game, for Breath of the Wild, is two: survival, exploration. Find the right place to start and build from there. At the same time, if you're having a hard time, try and survive. But if you think that you can't really handle it because they're too strong, step back, retreat, and find like an easier quest to do, or find some weapon that can give you an upper hand. The key thing in order to power up your character here, there's a lot, but one of them I can say is complete those shrines. And again, I'm not going to spoiler in the first part of the game. The first part, it takes you an hour just to finish it. They'll tell you what happens when you finish the shrine. You get something, and once you get a certain amount of this something, you go to a certain place, and then they'll grant you power-ups. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you know, then you know. So it's way a bit different, because like I said, so the difference is, again, it's about survival. You have to find weapons whenever seen. The thing about this game is different than the other game. Breaking stuff might find you materials. So the key point here, the new thing they have is materials. You're gonna need materials to basically for cooking, to power up your armor at a certain point, but create some certain weapons. And again, it's very important here. Materials are very important, unlike in previous games. There is no. And the different, I guess you can say word, but different thing about this one in the Zelda game is enemies don't drop three main things that mostly in previous game: rupees, arrows, and hearts. Yeah, they do drop materials, but they don't drop those three things from previous game. Arrows are scarcity. So you might get lucky and grab some arrows from the enemy. And here's the thing: you say, "Oh shoot, I wasted an arrow." You can actually get that arrow back if you can find it. Rupees are scarcity; they don't drop from the enemy. You have to find a way to make it. You can sell stuff to make some rupees, find them on treasure chests, or side quests. Again, not that easy. And the worst part here: no hearts. You want to survive? You gotta cook. That's one of the most important things. Gotta cook some good food. You can eat the material, but if you write the fine combination of the material and cook it, you can get good like refills. So again, it's the way they plan it is way different, and I'm kind of liking it. Like most of the time I spend, and sadly to say, I'm exploring the world, seeing some secret, going to certain places because you never know what pops out. So yeah, so way different. I kind of like it. It is a different approach. So one of the questions: should you start to play Zelda with this one? Well, it's hard to say because it's a different approach. Unless you're into Skyrim stuff style, maybe. But if you want my personal opinion, I'm probably gonna say not so much because it's all about survival. And if you're not into the Zelda game, you don't understand. You're probably not gonna understand this one because again, it's about survival, exploration. They're telling you what to do. I mean, a good game to really start for the 3D game, I have to say, would be for the 3DS, the Ocarina of Time 3D. And if you want to go OG, very OG, then go play the Legend of Zelda for the NES. That's the two, in my opinion, personally, for the 2D one, The Legend of Zelda, the original one, get it for Virtual Console. For the 3D one, I say go with Ocarina of Time. It kind of gives you how it starts. Starting with this one as a New Year's for Zelda game might be tricky, but it is possible. But again, it's way different. Like I said, I'm already 2 to 3 hours. I think 3 hours stops ahead. I'm in a certain area now. Trying to continue saving Hyrule. Again, I can't really do spoilers, sorry. But what would I give this game? As of right now, is... And I know I probably shouldn't be giving score, but you know what? This again is my own impression, so please don't take it personal. But I have to sort of give it a 9 out of 10. Like, oh, no, you did not do the Nintendo bump. You did not give it a perfect score. Again, it's my 2 to 3 hours impression, not the whole review yet. The only reason why I gave it a 9, rather missing that 1 point, and that is, even so it's fun, even so it's a different approach, in the beginning, you will die a lot. Never. You will die a lot. You don't know where to go. And sometimes it's not holding your hands. Again, that's not a bad thing, but for some people, they might say, oh man, I don't know where to go. Second, weapon breakage, even so it makes sense for this game, I don't think a lot of people will like that. Like, oh crap, my sword is broken now. What else am I going to have? So, if you're a item, weapon, or whatever hoarder, this is not a game for you. Because if you're a hoarder for those type of items, and again, video game and in real life, then yeah, it'll be tricky. It'll be tricky because again, you can't hoard those weapons because there is a limit to your style of how many weapons you can carry. So it doesn't really matter. There's another one. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. It's like the survival aspect, really going to be difficult in the beginning. It'll take a while. Oh, the third one is the exploration. Like, wait, I thought that's all part of the game. Yeah, it is. But the problem also is you tend to go mindlessly places. It gets boring to some extent. And again, remember, the thing about this game is it's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic world after 100 years thanks to, well, let's just say Ganondorf. Again, a homage to the original The Legend of Zelda. There are towns, but a lot of it is ruined. This is not like Twilight Princess when there are cities. Not like Ocarina of Time, or Link to the Past, or whatever. It's barren, like the original The Legend of Zelda. So, again, that might turn some people off. If you're a fan of The Legend of Zelda like I am, and you understand the whole aspect, yeah, it'll be a 10 out of 10. But to a general gamer who's interested with Zelda, but then they say, what's this? I don't understand. Exploration sometimes might turn people off. It's really worth it, but again, depends on your patience. I don't know what to say there. So that's the reason why 9 out of 10. I know it should be a 10. Give me more time. Once I finish the game, maybe I'll change my score. We'll see. Story-wise, really good. But again, those 3 things, I had to give it a 9. Again, sorry to anyone. I know you're probably going to hate me for it. But it's just my personal opinion. Now, if you're into Amiibo, you like to collect Amiibo, and you're a out-of-box Amiibo collector, which is you open them and use them, here's the question. Do you need them in this game? And the answer is, in the very beginning, if you needed materials and you need some sort of head start, yeah, you're probably going to need them, especially the Breath of the Wild and the 30th anniversary. They will give you enough material to actually to create some food to heal you up or potion to help you take an advantage. So definitely, yes, very, very useful. They are very, very useful. I heard you can use The Legend of Zelda from the Smash Brothers series. I tried it only once. I heard there's also rumor that they don't like exclusive thing. So that's another thing about either the 30th anniversary, maybe the Smash Brothers, and the Breath of the Wild. They, again, how it works is you scan it once per day, they'll give you stuff and there's a treasure chest. Whatever's in it is randomized, but there will be at one point, if you're lucky, you can unlock a hidden item. I'm not going to tell what it is, but this hidden item will help you maybe give you an advantage. So again, if you need that boost of help and you like Amiibo, you like to use them, Yes. Do you need them? Not so much. It's just, again, it's a very, very giving you a super helping hand when you have it. Okay, two. Say you bought the Twilight Princess HD and it has Wolf Link like I did, and I want to use Link. So you play the Shadow of Trial, Shadow of Kate in in Twilight Princess. It depends how many hearts you survive until the end. You can use Wolf Link to help you in the game. Yeah, so you'll be double the Link. You got Link from Breath of the Wild, and well, his Wolf Link in wolf form from Twilight Princess, from a different, I guess, according to the game, spoiler, from a different world. Well, no duh. He, yeah, Wolf Link will help you assist you. So like a sort of an extension to your attack. But again, same deal with the other amiibo. Once his life is out, he's done for the day. Gotta wait until the next day. But does it help? Definitely. Especially if you're gonna need a lot of enemies. He can help you kind of like crowd control. Two, find secrets. He'll help you, take you, especially when you're looking for shrines. There are a lot of them. Again, there'll be a point when you can improve your Seeker Slate, which they already talk about it. It has other things, but one of them is a shrine finder. He'll help you pinpoint where the shrine is. Now, I'm not going to tell you how, but yeah. So again, are they optional? Definitely. They're optional. You don't need them to basically have an upper hand, but it helps. There you go. So that's my thoughts of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. Again, no different than the Switch. I have already the Wii U. I'm not gonna get one on Switch until fall when Super Mario Odyssey. Different story there. 9 out of 10. Again, should be a 10 for 10 even with this impression. But again, like I said, this review only reflects my 3 hours of the game. 3 hours. So again, it's really really hard. But is it 3 hours? Well, whatever. I don't know how many hours. Maybe 5, 3. Well, you know what? Whatever. But it's a good game. It's a good game. So with that, thanks for listening.